All right, thank you for tuning in. We are live with Dynamite Download. I am Myndrunner, and with me is, of course, my Scully to my Mulder is Miss Courtney. Miss Courtney, thank you for joining me on this epic moment here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity that I'm about to receive. So thank you for thinking of me again, once again, and I'm happy to do this for my friends SPD and Crayfish.
Absolutely. You know, I've been having trouble sleeping because it is Sleepless in San Antonio coming up. But our guests at this time, let me introduce who we have. At 16 years of age, she is the youngest participant in the Mission Pro Wrestling universe. She is representing Hybrid School of Wrestling as one of their star students. With her background in jiu-jitsu, she is becoming a fast learner, as well as being under the learning tree of La Mira Mira herself, Thunder Rosa. Her first match was in 2023 August against the top tier Jasmine Allure. Soon to be watching her wrestle all over the United States, including North Carolina. Izzy Mania running wild. It's your girl, Izzy Moreno. All right, we had to get the Izzy buddies in there.
Yes, I love it. Oh my goodness, we were freaking out when it was playing. Thank you so much for making that. That was legit the cutest thing ever. And thank you for having me on too. I'm super excited to be here at Thunder Rosa and you guys. It's gonna be a good time.
I mean, Runner, I'm gonna have to like hire you for graphics. That was great.
So
Please do. I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to. Thank you. And we're excited as well. Is it a possibility that we might see Izzy buddies in at one of your next entrances, perhaps at Mania, Mission Pro Mania? Perhaps we might need to get a couple Izzy buddies.
That would be a good idea.
I mean, if you know anybody that wants to sponsor that, we'll put them over. We got that, and you know,
maybe Dynamite Download will sponsor. We need one green and one purple. You know, because aren't those your colors?
I have a couple of ideas for what I want to do for Mission Pro Wrestling's Mania. Because you know it's Mania, you have to go all out special. So
yes,
I already have my gear for Mania for April being made. Because I'm looking to get booked for WrestleMania weekend in Philly because I'm gonna be at WrestleCon. So in case I do get booked, I want to have like new gear for WrestleMania.
What do you mean in case you get booked? You're gonna get booked.
I'm gonna get booked.
I always like to stay like I like to be surprised. That's the fun part. You live on the edge. You
can't. No,
it's for the plot.
This is part of me teaching you the ropes. Don't be surprised. It's better when like you don't not expect that. I think it's not surprised, but at least you're like in the back of your head. I'm gonna get it, and then you're gonna like I knew that.
Yeah. It's all part of manifestation, you know. You got it, Thunder Rosa. You know, it's one of those things where even if God told Thunder Rosa no, Thunder Rosa would disagree. You know
what? I challenged God one time. I said something really stupid to my father, and I said, God is always, he's tricky, and he's gonna do this tomorrow, and he did, and I was like, why did I open my mouth? So we're gonna challenge God ever again.
No, never. I will say this, Izzy. You know, you are one of us living the dream. So many of us are so excited, living vicariously through you, because you've gone from, and we've kind of watched you grow up from being the super fan at NXT who had that horrible person. She thought she was some legit boss or something that did trash your bow and all that stuff. But of course, Bailey was there to be a hugger for you. Then you went on to Hot Tag with Izzy. You had such a cool, you were interviewing such cool journalist style and really getting it out there into the wrestling world. And now living the dream, you are in the ring. You are a wrestler. You're officially on cagematch.com. You know, so there's all your matches listed there. And possibly, I don't know, coming up, your first W over Miss Kate.
Wow.
What do you think? So
I feel good about my win against Miss Kate. I've let down my BFFs at Mission Pro Wrestling since like I basically have gotten into Mission Pro.
Who are your BFFs? That's a question.
Everyone.
Ooh.
Oh, everybody's your BFF,
including you.
I'm writing notes.
He's my BFF.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So
well, Maybe not Jasmine, but
yeah, not Jasmine. You know, anybody who I really faced. So not Jasmine Allure, not Maya World, Kylan.
yeah.
We're in that weird phase where, you know, because she did say some really nice stuff to me after the match.
It's a mutual respect.
It's a mutual respect. It's a love-hate relationship, as they say. But yeah, I've lost all of my matches in Mission Pro, even when I went all the way to Ladies Night Out in North Carolina to face Tiffany Nieves. And it's, you know, it's been really difficult because, you know, nobody likes losing, but also letting down all my BFFs. It's not fun. It's really hard. So, you know, this year I really want this to be the year of the BFFs. And I think tomorrow that's going to be the start of it. And I'm really excited. And I've been training really hard. I've been working really hard in the gym, out of the gym, everything to make sure that tomorrow I get the win.
Well, we're excited for you. And, you know, I want to push back on the thing. I don't think you're letting your BFFs down. We're rooting for you. We're still excited. And we see your growth. You know, I mean, it's not like you're just wrestling a bunch of nobodies. You wrestled the MPW champion. You've wrestled Kylan King. I mean that your list of previous opponents are tremendous, and I think you're really on the path that it's what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Iron sharpens iron, and we are going to pop big time when you get that W.
Thank you. It means a lot to be able to face such amazing people, a part of the industry, and people who I've looked up to. You know, it's funny because I interviewed Kylan 2 times when I was doing the hot tag with Izzy. And the fact that, like, I honestly, if you would have told me when I was interviewing her, I think it was about 4 years ago.
Wow.
If you would have told me then, like, hey, you're going to face her in 4 years, I wouldn't believe you. And especially if I would be facing her at Mission Pro Wrestling, like, I'd be like, you're freaking crazy. But that's not the case. Like, it's really awesome just to be living out this life that I'm having right now. And I'm just like, this is where I was dreaming of being 5 years ago. And now that it's like actually mine, like this life that I have, it's mine. It's definitely surreal. So facing these type of people who I've looked up to for such a long time, it's really special to me.
We're excited for you. And I know you're an inspiration to all those little girls out there now. Who knows? There might be a little one that's watching. All right, remember in the Jasmine Allure match, the little girl that was watching.
Yes. I like to call her my ultimate BFF. She is at every Mission Pro Wrestling show. You know Aiden, right? Yeah, she's adorable. She's like, it's so funny because I met her at True Colors. And so right before True Colors started, I was handing out all my friendship bracelets because it was my first Mission Pro show. I was trying to make BFFs with everybody. I was kind of like the new girl at school. And so I was a little nervous, but I went up to her and she said yes to a friendship bracelet. So that was like automatic friendship. And she helped me get up when I was when I got attacked by Jasmine Allure from behind. And I was like, this is a real BFF right here. And then she was there for my debut, and she's been there for all of my matches with Mission Pro Wrestling. So yeah, so Aiden and her family, they are absolutely amazing. I love seeing them at all the shows. I know they just sponsored me for Sleepless in San Antonio. So shout out to her. But yeah, Aiden is the best. She's my ultimate BFF.
Yeah, Aiden. I've known Aiden since she was a baby, actually.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when I was doing MMA, I was in the same group with her and her dad. And like I remember, I got in the cage. Her dad was there. I was like, oh, she's a pro wrestler. I was like, oh, for real? Oh my god, he dragged me around the octagon. It was hilarious. And Aiden's been such a fighter all her life. She was born with some problems with her legs, and she's gone through I think like more than 9 surgeries to like get her legs straight to walk. So for her to have such a big connection with Izzy, it means a lot. And she's been coming to every show for like, I don't know, almost 8 months. And her grandparents are super supportive. Yes. Her mom is amazing. Cool. And it's just beautiful to see how invested she is in professional wrestling, to the fact that she was crying when Izzy was getting her ass beat by.
When I lost.
Hey, the coach. She's the coach.
Tears, like sobbing, and I was like, I remember it was when I lost my debut match, and I don't think anybody was expecting it. I mean, I definitely wasn't. And I remember I saw her crying, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, what have I done? I know it was Jasmine's doing because Jasmine ripped her sign, but I was like, what have I done? Because I was like, wow, I've done this. But is legit the best. She's like the absolute sweetest, and it's actually really special about this is that she wears braces on her legs, and I used to have to wear a back brace, like very similar to the ones that she wears for my scoliosis. So when I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, this is a sign from the universe that it's like meant to be, that we are BFFs. Like the universe is sending me a sign. And so I've been able to talk to her about it and just kind of like relate to her, and then also like telling her grandparents about it. So when I met her, I was like, this is it. I was like, this is who I'm doing it for.
Very cool. Very cool. Courtney, you got a question?
Yes, I got a question for Izzy. My first question is, were you the one that ran off Camille Brickhouse and Tiffany, the Mission Pro Wrestling women's champ?
Did you I guess, are you running off, like, is Tiffany Nieves, is she afraid of you might one day take that title from her? Is that why she's kind of, I don't know.
Well, I haven't really talked to Camille. I mean, if I ever get to share the ring with her, I mean, that would be tremendous. That'd be a big match for me, quite literally, but and metaphorically speaking. However, Tiffany, me and her, we faced at Ladies Night Out at Wrestle Cave this past year, and she made me tap, but she hasn't really mentioned me since. So I don't like to think that she's scared of me. I know, first off, my first goal is to get my first win at Mission Pro Wrestling, so I'm not trying to think too ahead of myself here, but I am still building up to another title shot. Okay, we're gonna get there. I believe it. We're gonna get there.
I'm confident you'll get there. I'm excited for you too, and you never know. Maybe it's the singles title, maybe the tag titles. You never know what. Maybe
3 tag team partners tomorrow, and you never know.
Could you become the first to be the Izzy 2 belts?
Oh, that would be kind of cool. I feel like would I be the youngest to hold? Yeah, I'd be the youngest, so that would be kind of cool, because I've entered this industry so young, and I was always looked at as like, as just a kid, and I was always kind of frowned upon for being so young in this industry and being, like the kid around. Yeah. So if that was ever something I could reach, being the youngest Mission Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, I think that would be like really, really awesome.
I think it'd be awesome. Do you kind of feel a bit like a Peter Parker, or like, when you're balancing, you're this superhero in the ring, and yet you're going to class, you're doing all this other stuff, and it's like, do you sometimes feel like you're sitting there in class and you're like, I'd rather be in the ring doing a hurricanrana or something?
Yes, all the time. You don't understand. Well, luckily I've gotten my high school schedule so simple throughout the years, because I've done a lot of high school credit classes in middle school. Good. So, I'm graduating early, and I'm in my senior year. So I have literally 2 in-person classes, and then the rest are in my dad's class, and I just pretty much work on my online classes, or if I need to do match study. I do promos during some of my free periods. The photography teacher, I'm really good friends with him, and he has all these backdrops. So like, you can probably tell like which ones are in school. You'll probably see like a little curtain, and that's my backdrop, and then I'm at school. And so like, I'll bring my Izzy stuff, and then like I'm walking in the halls like as Izzy Marino, and kids are like, what? But yeah, I do feel like Spider-Man sometimes. I definitely do. With great power comes great BFFs. Wait, you put that on a shirt. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yep.
No, I do, because like, I think about being in the ring all the time. After this weekend, I'm gonna have to go back to school, and it's like back to normalcy. But that's kind of like the fun part. Like, I like being like a pro wrestler on the weekend, and then being a normal high school student during the week.
Mild-mannered high school student, but on the weekend. We do have a question from our buddy Brent. He wants to know, who would you team up with? I mean, out of all your BFFs, you kind of alluded that it might be like Patreon, where there's different tiers of BFFs, like maybe a gold tier BFF versus regular. But is there anybody that you would team with to go for those tag titles?
I think that's an easy question. That's an easy answer for me.
Oh, you'll team with me?
Yes, obviously. Wow. I would definitely team with you. I feel like we'd be so, like, maybe I can paint my face.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Like, honestly, and you got to wear some friendship bracelets, okay?
I was just about to say that. I see myself wearing like nothing but,
Yeah,
bracelets and start hitting everybody with
Do you
them.
have
Yes.
like neon
Of
gear?
course. No, but I can make some.
Okay, we can get you some neon gear for
Yeah.
sure. I'm trying to think what else is Izzy Moreno.
Well,
Mia?
the friendship bracelets need every third bead needs to be like a sugar skull or something, you know?
Yeah,
That's
well,
cute.
I'm sure they make them on Amazon. Like,
Yeah.
you can get that.
You can
So
3D
friendship
print.
bracelets, neon gear. What else do you need?
I
We
don't know.
need
A
neon
younger,
everything.
a younger attitude and a younger body. Getting
Well,
getting or,
there's Thunder Rosa the person, but then there's Thunder Rosa the wrestler. Thunder Rosa the person is one of the most biggest hearted, most uplifting people on the planet. I mean, the two of you are two of the most positive people. Thunder, you lift up everybody around you. You're not somebody that steps on people to get to the next level. You pull them up with you. And that's something that we've all noticed. And that's one of the reasons why the Thunder Army is so rabid with that kind of stuff. And Izzy Mania, all your BFFs are feeling the same way. But Thunder Rosa the wrestler and Izzy the wrestler, that's kind of almost a polar opposite. It's almost like, Izzy's like, hey, let's go do it. We're going to have fun.
No. But you guys don't have a clue. This girl is a killer. We were training yesterday. I have not rolled in forever. And she put me in a guillotine. And I was like, all right, as I'm in the guillotine thinking, how am I going to get out of this? She like wrenched it really hard. And I was like, I'm just going to tap out. I tap out. And everyone was like, what was that? It's jits. Like, we're out doing jujitsu.
I was honestly shocked. Honestly.
She is the killer because I went for something and she grabbed me. She had it in, and I'm like,
wow.
They had like flashbacks, and I'm okay to say that she made me tap out because we were rolling for real. So you think she's so cute and BFS and everything? She has the dark side of her.
I do.
Especially in jiu-jitsu, because she doesn't get to do this often. And that's the cool part when you are with somebody that does jiu-jitsu, does MMA, and you train. You get them out of you get that out of them, and you're like, okay. So
it's fun,
right?
To do it. So I was saying to her, I was like, it's so much fun to do it in a ring and in my wrestling boots because jiu-jitsu, you're in your gi, you have your little belt, and you don't have any shoes on. So it's like it's so different to do inside of the ring. But that's like the cool part is like being able to translate jiu-jitsu into pro wrestling. Like that's the most beautiful part about it.
And she saw it yesterday, and I was like, it's so easy. Just do this, do that, and it's just like rolling. For me, that's the fun part, right? And like. AC has a long career ahead of her. And like, I'm just like right now in the process of, again, revamping Mission Pro Wrestling, like having to talk to you guys and talk to more podcasts about what we're doing here in Texas and what we want to do maybe in the future if we have an opportunity and we have the financial means to do it, because running these promotions is not as simple as it is. And with the economy right now, it's hit the fans hard. It hit a lot of the promotions, a lot of investors left. So it's like we're starting all over again. And we have somebody like Izzy, who's one of the major future stars that are coming. Like this is something that I just read a thing from Twitter when we were having our first conversation about you working for Mission Pro.
What was it?
It was like, that was a while ago. I read the message. You sent me a message with your phone number.
Yeah.
I was like,
that, yeah.
But those are like the things. And like right now, we trained with I was gonna call her Tiffany Nieves, the Princesa, and I got to meet her like even more as a person. And you see what motivates them as females, as professional wrestlers, as athletes, and also as dreamers and goal seekers. And they're both young, and you're 16, right?
Yeah,
16. Tiffany's a little bit older, they're both
just a tad.
And it's just beautiful to see that and see their journey. Like for me, like when I see Tiffany, I see myself like 8 years ago when I was hustling, when I was like asking for an opportunity. She just got signed for NWA. She is a champion. She takes that very serious. She's hungry. Easy, and I don't even have words to describe how how dedicated and the work ethic that she has and the support that she has from her parents. That is not, you don't teach that. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah. It's innate.
It's been beautiful to work with women like them, young women like you.
Thank you.
She's not a girl, not yet a woman, like Britney
Spears says.
But that's, for me, that's a beautiful part as someone who's been doing and running shows along with Brian, along with Jeremiah. It's like discovering this new women and new talent that are hungry and that want to learn, right? And And again, I'm really, really blessed that I'm allowed to do this outside of my own job as Thunder Rosa and AEW. And it's really cool. And I'm excited for what's going to happen to Easy in the next year in her career as an influencer, as a wrestler, and also as Easy Moreno, who is about to graduate this year. And she's missing time to come to Mission Pro Mania. So
yeah. So for those who don't know, I'm graduating early. So I'm a junior, but since it's my last year, I'm a senior. So juniors and seniors can only go to prom. So my prom falls on the day of Mission Pro Mania. So I was like prom or Mission Pro, Mission Pro all the way. Very excited about this. Is gonna be kind of like my first Mania show, which is awesome.
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna be very excited. I don't know what my match is gonna be yet. I'm a little nervous to find out, but I'm excited. I really am. Like, it's gonna be so much fun, and we're gonna go all out because it's gonna be BFF Mania. Honestly,
BFF Mania. What you gonna do?
BFF Mania.
It's April 20th. It's gonna start 6 p.m. You can get your tickets. They're available at missionprowrestling.com. If you can't make it, you can go to titlematchnetwork.com, but I will gladly have everybody in San Antonio. It's a fun city to hang out. There's a lot of great food, a lot of great drinks.
Yeah.
There's great wrestling that day, and there's going to be a lot of surprises, and you guys can't miss the show tomorrow, February 10th.
Yeah.
We start at 6 p.m. Central, and everything is going to unravel tomorrow. I'm just going to leave it as that. Everything
I don't know what
this
you mean by
year
that.
is going to unravel tomorrow.
I have a feeling a lot of long-term storytelling is starting tomorrow. Like the road to MPW Mania, the road to Mission Pro Mania starts tomorrow, and a lot of things are going to happen. Don't miss it. I'm excited for it. Before we got to hit the fast 5 questions before we wrap up. Want to really quickly ask both of you, and again, it just kind of in light of not talking about the old mentality of wrestling that seems to be going the way of the dinosaur now. Are we kind of entering, or are we in a renaissance or gold? Are we really getting into a golden age of women's wrestling? Are we really starting to head in the direction where it's like women's wrestling is being seen as such a tremendous man, not the popcorn match that people are saying, because people like yourself, Thunder, and everybody, you're putting on such a great show. You're stealing the show a lot of times from the guys. I remember I was at an indie show, and the best match of the night was the 2 women wrestling. The guys were back there like, well, we got to step up our game. We're looking crazy. Or is there a lot of work that still needs to go before we get there?
You want to answer that first? You can go first. I think there's been a lot of work done in different levels, from the mainstream to the independent scene. The independent scene has been, the work has been done. The payment has been set, right, for the new generation of wrestlers. I think that there is still a lot more work to be done and more support from the fans, because I think there's still a lot of misconception about women's wrestling. Regardless of whatever people say or not, I hear it all the time. And there is big players coming into the big leagues and in the big leagues right now who are changing the game, but we continue to have this for the women that want to be professional wrestlers that are not necessarily athletes from college and that are not being going pipeline to a mainstream. They need these platforms to develop their skills, to develop everything that they can offer for other places. And I think we have a responsibility to, as veterans, to show that and show them the right way and show them the ropes, and where what we do is show them effective communication, where they don't need to feel afraid of saying and raising their voice when something is wrong. There's always a way to communicate and to make your point across. And if you feel uncomfortable to have that conversation, and if it doesn't work, move on. That's a good thing to do. And also to really care for each other and make it more like a sorority, regardless if you don't really like the person or not. It's about the work that you can do professionally. And I think for me, that's the most important part. When you can't work with someone, or you don't really like that person and in a personal level. Yeah. But being professional at all times is so important.
Absolutely. Being professional. Izzy?
Yeah. I think, when I started to watch wrestling, I was, I watched the whole Diva era. And while that was great, you had the AJ Lees, you had the Pages, I feel like from where it was then, it's very different now, but in the best way possible. I think if it wasn't for places like Mission Pro Wrestling and other independent all women's promotions, like I don't think I'd be where I am. And I don't want to speak for all the other women out there in the independent scene, but I feel like they would agree. Mission Pro, I think, because I started to do shows when I was about 10, like very rarely, like it would, like if I knew the person personally, if I knew the promoters personally, it just kind of be a favor or just for fun. And I just remember always just feeling so lost and like I didn't belong. And I was just like, this big world of pro wrestling. And I think if, Mission Pro has made me feel like I'm at home and they've made me feel
awesome.
comfortable where I'm at. So I'm really grateful for places like Mission Pro, even at Ladies Night Out, like I was nervous, it was like a really big show for me and I felt so comfortable there too. So, it's, the fact that there's places like Mission Pro, Ladies Night Out, and, other places, I'm really grateful for those independent promotions. But yeah, I think women's wrestling has taken a lot of giant steps in the positive direction. And I can't wait to see where it goes, in the future. Because I feel like Thunder said that there is a lot of more work to be done. Not saying that, the work that other women have put in isn't enough. I think, we can always go above and beyond. And
yes,
like I said, I'm very excited to see where it goes in the future. It's going to be awesome.
We're excited for your future, and not only tomorrow to find out what happens tomorrow with you in the future and the road to Mission Pro Mania, but bright future for you. And of course, Thunder, you've also got a few things for yourself. We can talk about this, but this is one of my favorite memes. Like, so many choices. Who do we go after?
I was like blanking out in that moment. I was like, yeah,
But what I like about it comes across as like you're overwhelmed with like which path first. Do I go for this title? Do I rekindle an old feud? And then Izzy, the same thing. We can almost say, yeah, the sky's the limit for you as well. Your future is so bright. We're looking forward to you getting your first dub. But before we go, we've got SBD has brought in he's phoned in the questions, not phoned them in, but he's actually taken the time to send the questions in for the Fast Five. These are 5 questions. Just answer off the top. First thing that comes to your mind when you hear them. It's time for the Fast Five.
Hey everyone, it is time for SPD's Fast Five. 5 quick questions and give us the first answer that comes to the top of your head. All right, let's begin. First question, what is the perfect taco?
Oh, that's fucking good. That's a good one.
Who gets that first? Go ahead.
I do because I'm like taco connoisseur. Oh man, has to be some juicy ass steak, well seasoned, cilantro, onions, lemon, fresh avocado, and a hot ass tatemada salsa. It could be red, probably red. With chile de árbol or something. No, not chile de árbol, just jalapeno and everything. Just well done in the molcajete.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the tortillas have to be handmade too.
Yes.
And more tortillas. How about you, Izzy, or do you just agree with Thunder on that one?
Okay, because I love a good, like, steak, onions, and cilantro, like, really stinky type taco.
Mm-hmm.
However, I come to San Antonio, so, I have to kind of try everything. I do go to Torchy's Tacos. I'm not saying this is the best one. I'm sorry. I knew you were going to...
Oh, my gosh, you said Torchy's Tacos.
I know.
I'm out of this conversation.
I'm sorry, but the Trailer Park Taco is so good. It's a literal chicken tender inside of a taco. Like 5-year-old Izzy is so happy. Because she loves chicken tenders.
We can't be BFFs anymore after this.
Oh, no. She's turning in her bracelet.
Done.
Oh, no.
All right, well, let's move on to...
Yeah.
We'll move on to question 2. We don't want to start any trouble here. We're going to question 2.
If you could guest star on any TV show, which would it be?
I would say.
What was that? The TV show? What would it be?
Guest star in any TV show, what would it be?
Oh my God, that's a really good question.
Stranger Things.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
Spooky. I like it.
Oh my God. I am into Succession. I will
Oh, I
love
gotta watch
Succession
that.
is such a good show.
Yes.
True Detective has gotten my attention. That is like that is dope. I would like to be a detective.
3 of my favorite shows right there. You just named. What do you think, Courtney? Are those your favorite shows?
Yeah, sure, why not? Watch like mysteries.
Yeah, Well, True Detective's fantastic. I still think my favorite season of True Detective is season 3. That was my favorite. I really thought that was great. But and then the Upside Down. Would 11 be a BFF?
Yes.
I wonder.
Me 11, we'd be hitting up Starcourt Mall. We'd be shopping and everything. Like we'd get all the cute 80s clothes. Because when I saw season 3, I fell in love with the one romper that she wore, and I was like, I need to wear that. And they made the costume, but I was like, no, I need to wear that in real life. I never got like the guts to do it because I was like, okay, this isn't the 80s, Izzy. This is like, I don't know what year it came out. This is like 2019. But yeah, no, I freaking love Stranger Things. Like that, I feel like that was my first like big TV show.
Mhm.
Like where it was always like, like Jessie or like teenage kid shows. Like, you know what I mean? Like on like Disney Channel XD. Like that was like my first big TV show, and I was like, oh yes. And I've met a couple of the actors on it, so I'm like, I went to Stranger Things Con, and it was awesome. So I met 11, and then I met Will and like a couple other of them.
Very cool. All right, question 3.
If Mission Pro Wrestling could book any venue, which one would you want it to book?
I would say 2300 Arena. That would be really dope.
Ooh.
I love Corrigan Hall.
Corrigan Hall. Very good. Very good.
What's that one?
It's in Japan.
Okay. That's it. I was like, what's that?
But if not, I mean, if we were like super rich and wealthy and we had all the money in the world, it will have to be a big stadium.
Yeah, I would say. I'm trying to think. I'm like, where has Taylor
Swift Dallas Cowboys?
Or about the Garden, Madison Square Garden.
There.
Madison Square Garden, yes. I was gonna say
SoFi Stadium is huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
I've always wanted to see Mission Pro sometime get in the Hammerstein Ballroom.
I was just thinking about that one. That was great. Yes, that was a great. I have really good memories of that one when I did GCW back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. All right, question 4.
What is one talent that you wish you had?
Oh, I was thinking about like wrestlers. I was like, what wrestler I wish I had? Talent. Sometimes I wish I could sing.
You can't sing?
Girl, no. I cannot.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry for you.
Thunder didn't have that problem, but
a piano, like a electric keyboard, so I play it. So I'm like, man, I'm not sure I can sing with it, but I'm like, no.
And that will be my talent to like play a
instrument
because I can sing, but I can't play it yet.
Oh, yeah.
Barely. So maybe we can maybe you'll sing for me and I'll play for you.
Yes.
In addition to tag team, form a band. You got the Thunder BFFs, the Thunder Izzies. And finally, question 5. And like Thunder now, she's got her hair like Bailey now, so now they're already turning.
Put it back.
It's putting it sideways.
All right, and now question 5.
Last but not least, if you could book any band or artist to perform your entrance music, who would it be?
What is it?
Taylor Swift.
Of course.
If that's so easy. I mean, that's like that's like really theoretically speaking. If I could ever, I don't even know what I'd have for, because Look What You Made Me Do is my favorite Taylor Swift song, but I don't think that really fits me. But also, I'm like, that's my favorite Taylor Swift song, or The Man. That's
a really good song.
I know, right? That one.
Yeah, it's a really good song.
Isn't it so it's relatable?
Yep, it is a really good song.
That's I think that's like my number 2 favorite song of hers.
I heard it in Tiny Desk, and I was like, yep, I like.
Oh, in Tiny Desk.
Yeah, I did. For me, Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is like, yeah,
she's so good.
She's so good. Like she can sing pretty much anything.
Did you see
she can perform.
In the studio?
Yeah, she is.
She posted a picture, and I was like,
she does movies. She's multi-talented.
So good.
Love her. She's an inspiration of mine. Yeah, it's either her or Selena Quintanilla.
That would be tremendous. There, I'm trying to imagine Lady Gaga singing Blood and Glory. She would do a funky remix of it though.
Probably you would be able to. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Thunder, Izzy. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We're so excited. We are losing sleep because we are sleepless. We're not in San Antonio, but you guys are. See what I did there? Woo. But Sleepless in San Antonio. It is tomorrow. The bell time is 6 p.m. If you're in the San Antonio area, definitely make sure you take the time. Go out there. You're going to have an awesome time. If you're not, you can join people like myself on Title Match Network watching it live. And also make sure in the chat that you're using the hashtag MPW Sleepless in San Antonio, and make sure we're chatting this stuff up. We're excited. I have a feeling some big things are about to happen tomorrow that's going to really shape the future of Mission Pro. Thunder, you got that poker face going there right now. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with her. Like, she hasn't, like, I've tried to talk to her about stuff.
I'm gonna be in commentary tomorrow, so it's gonna be fun.
I've tried to talk to her about stuff. And
Just commentary?
Just commentary.
Not like when Abaddon was getting a beat down and somebody had to go in and correct things.
Just commentary. I'm just doing just commentary in my match with Lady Bird, and I'm doing my comeback on 420.
Mm-hmm.
It will be with Lady Bird. We're wrestling in Mission Pro Mania. But thank you for the time, guys.
Yes,
absolutely.
Great meeting, guys. Great for both of you ladies.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Take care, everybody. And go see. Make sure you sign up for Sleepless in San Antonio live tomorrow, February 10th at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. On behalf of Thunder Rosa and Izzy and my Scully to my Molder, Courtney, Miss Courtney, where can everybody find you at? By the way, Courtney, you're always on X.
I'm always on X at Miss Courtney 28. I'm on Twitch. It's Courtney. It's Queen_Courtney 41.
Queen now, you say?
Yes, Queen. I'm also on Instagram, Courtney Holland 35. And that's pretty much where you can find me. You can also find me on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. It's my new podcast home.
Okay.
So we're getting ready to have some new shows coming out. I'm going solo.
What? Very nice. Very nice.
So yeah, I'm going solo. My new show is The Driver's Seat, so it's a little different. It's not a wrestling podcast. It's a racing podcast.
Okay. Race, but that you're spreading, you're getting the diversity out there. That's awesome. I think that's tremendous. And of course, Dynamite download every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. You can catch us live. And Courtney is always hanging out in the chat room. Little birdie, I've been hear that the Top Rope Squishy may be coming back in the next month or so. We may be popping on there. And of course, please check out Mental Health Mondays. That's my other podcast where we talk about Courtney. It may be a guest on there at some point. She's already been on my Educators podcast. And SBD and Crayfish, we miss you guys, but we know you're out there having fun. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Brent, Bobby, everybody. Brian, thank you so much for all the support. I'm going to close out with just we actually have here the Mission Pro Control Center, and a very distinguished Tony Schiavone-esque, very handsome individual is going to break down the card for tomorrow at Sleepless in San Antonio, and we'll close out with that. Hello and welcome to the Mission Pro Wrestling Control Center. I am Dynamite Downloads Myndrunner here, and we are sleepless with excitement for this Saturday, February 10th at the Salvation Army Mission Corps and on Title Match Network. It is Sleepless in San Antonio. This event is packed with Mission Pro excitement. So we're talking about kicking it off with the main event. The title is on the line, where La Princesa Tiffany Nieves is going up against La Fashionista Roche Chanel. The Fashionista is looking to secure the bag and become the first ever to not only have had the tag team titles, but now become the Mission Pro Champion. Speaking of tag team championships, the tag team titles are on the line. as Maya World and her mystery partner take on top-tier Jasmine Allure and her mystery partner. We are waiting with bated breath to find out who these mystery partners are, and word on the street is their names and faces that fans of Mission Pro will recognize. Also on the card, Ray Lynn, one half of Blonde Force Trauma, is taking on Emmy Camacho. This is going to be a proving ground match in all aspects as the veteran Ray Lynn shows Emmy what it's like to be a Mission Pro superstar. Also a huge match with epic proportions. We have the veteran of 4 years, Hollywood's own Zyra the Toxic Vibe, is going to be taking on referee turned wrestler. That's right, she's had enough of all the shenanigans. She's stepping in the ring herself. I'm talking about Calientita. Will this match be too spicy for the Hollywood native, or is Calientita going to recognize the 4-year veteran with experience is going to knock her down a peg or two? Hold on to your cabases, everybody, because the Mission Pro BFF, Izzy Moreno, is going to have the latest challenge with Chicago native Misa Kate. I don't know about you, but Misa excited about this match. Will Izzy get her first W in Mission Pro Wrestling, or is Misa Kate going to distribute the Chicago way and take down Izzy for the 1-2-3? Also on the card, let's not forget the 5-way challenge for the Mission Pro Cup. A 5-way challenge involving Shay Carmichael, Angel Blue, Nova Phoenix, Morgan Mercy, and the man of Mission Pro, J.P. Harlow. I think a lot of our fans have said that they're more concerned with JP winning, that they're willing to root for any of the other 4 talents as long as it's not JP Harlow. Also, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be live on Dynamite Download with Miss Courtney. We're going to be talking to none other than everybody's BFF, Izzy Moreno, and La Mira Mira herself, Thunder Rosa. Don't miss it tonight live, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Dynamite Download YouTube channel and on X and Instagram. Make sure you give us a follow so you don't miss out. Well, there you have it, folks. It is Sleepless in San Antonio this Saturday, February 10th. The bell is at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure that you are there. If you can't be there in person, you can watch it on Title Match Network. Go to TitleMatchNetwork.com, and that's where I'm going to be watching. And also make sure you participate in the chat under the hashtag MPW Sleepless in San Antonio. For Dynamite Download, Mission Pro Wrestling, and Title Match Network, I am Myndrunner, and I will see you in the ring.